So, like, I'm streaming right now. It says I'm live. I'm sending you this link so you
Okay.
can watch it on your end when you get a second. So you can, man, I'm so annoyed with this. Like, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do is just right before the stream starts, get the person in, which sort of sucks because nobody wants to do that. That's the unlisted link,
Okay.
but I don't hear any noise. I don't hear any noise. Now, with that being said, what I'm going to do is hang up Skype really quick and then call you back and see if it does it when I call you back. Because if it does, then we know the audio loop is happening some point when I'm bringing you into the stream. So let me do this. I'm pushing this over. So you're here now. So I just pushed this over. All right. So now I'm going to hang up. Okay, so now you're there. So now I'm pushing you into the stream.
Hopefully.
All right, so just give me something. Talk a little bit.
Test 1 2. Testing 1 2.
I hear no noise.
That's so weird.
So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna title this after the post show. Post show with Kaden. So now it's that, and then I'm just gonna.
Since it's.
I'm gonna take it. We're gonna take it live, but I'm gonna have you back on. I may have you just as a reoccurring guest because this shouldn't happen like that, man. But I want
it's so weird.
I want people to know it's the weirdest thing. That's like for me is what I think is what's happening is with Skype is that it will push it'll push a feedback in when I call you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as long as I do it like this, it's fine. But anyways, I figured I wanted to chat with you anyways. So you said you fly the Skydio. Did you get your Skydio 2 already?
Yep, it's actually right here.
Nice, dude. So you're one of the lucky few that got their Skydio 2 already.
It's sweet, yeah. I got it right.
Okay.
It's actually an interesting story. So
how'd you get it?
So originally, my dad purchased a Parrot Bebop, which was like 6 years ago.
Okay.
And I flew that. I'm sure you know Parrot well.
Oh, yeah,
and I flew that for. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
it's a good drone.
It is a great drone.
It's definitely. It's not like. No, I'm talking with Ken. With the YouTuber. Sorry, that was my mom.
It's okay. I'm a bad influence.
No, she likes you actually. She was watching upstairs like he's funny. So. No, no, so the Parrot Bebop isn't too much of a professional drone.
Right.
It's really good, except so I upgraded to the Mavic Air. My dad realized I was really into it, and his philosophy is he'd rather me play on. It's like flying a drone instead of actually playing on video games, and I'm not a huge gamer myself.
Right.
But he really liked that I'm into it, and for the past few years I've gotten really interested in it. And so I got the Mavic Air in 2018, like right after it came out. We were going to sell the Parrot Bebop, but no one would buy it, so we gave it to my school for them to use with the STEM session. I have a really small school, 200 kids, so I flew that for about 2 years, and then just in October, my dad is really into American drone companies and American companies in general. He likes to support them. And so he saw the Skydio was coming out with a new drone. And he was like, okay, I'll buy that one drone for you. And we'll get rid of the Mavic Air and we'll sell that. Because he was basically thrilled with the autonomy, everything about it.
Safe.
So then yeah, it's super good. So we got that.
Dude, just really quick. They said it's perfect now, the audio. I think I figured out the issue.
Really?
Yeah, I figured out the issue. Oz told me. See, when Oz by Drone, you know who Oz by Drone is?
Yeah. No.
You got to check out his channel. Anyways, he's a master.
Okay.
He's a master of live streaming and everything, and he's been helping me here and there. And he said that you got an echo, and as soon as he said echo, I looked at your audio source, and I was like, crap, that chat mic that I have going into my headset.
Yeah.
So it was coming into here, but it was also coming into the stream. So that's my fault. Damn it, Adam. I'll have to make apologies for him. So I fixed it. I'm saving this now. Like, I'm not letting that go. I know it's Skype, but anyways. So your dad was impressed with the autonomy, And
and supporting that it was in America and it was
okay.
manufactured, even designed here.
And did you guys get a chance to see the R1 at all or experience that at all?
We didn't see it in person, but I showed him several videos of it, and I'm a huge tech enthusiast, so anything with artificial intelligence I'm interested in, and I was blown away by that. And I remember watching the video of it, and I was like, I have to somehow save enough money to get that. And then the Skydio 2 came out, where it's $1,500 less, and I was blown away.
I was pretty awesome when I saw the price, because when it first came out, I was like, holy crap. I said, they're going to sell this for 900, about $1,000. I'm like, yeah, it's still a lot of money. It's no walk in the park.
Oh yeah, no.
But I was like, wow, this is definitely a lot more doable, and it's way more capable than the R1. So you are 16 years old. Are you getting your 107?
That's the thing. I'm trying to get it, except with this whole coronavirus, it is really difficult for me to go.
It is very tough. It is very tough for anybody. So you have a skateboard track with your Skydio 2? Do you do any skateboarding or anything with the Skydio? Have you done anything cool with it yet?
No, so I like to bike. So I'm waiting until we get more leaves on the trees, because the obstacle avoidance in the autonomy system will function a lot better.
Did you tell that to Billy Kyle? Because he didn't get that. He tried biking. I'm messing with you. No, I agree. I did notice sometimes. I mean, Florida, we don't have like a winter, I guess. It's almost evergreen. So I really didn't experience that in the winter when I got it, but I have seen people have problems with it because it does have a hard time to decipher in, objects that are very, very thin.
Oh yeah, like thin branches and whatnot.
So you have a podcast, the Vortex podcast. It seems like you're a huge Tesla enthusiast as well.
Yes, anything related to technology I'm super interested in.
Okay.
SpaceX, Tesla, Elon Musk. Yeah, so every Friday night at 9 o'clock, we do a live stream, me and my friend. He has a channel. And we just talk about technology. It's like mainly a news podcast type ordeal, where we have on-screen graphics of actually what we're reading. And then we actually did a special edition podcast where we played... It was titled Remembering Starman, so we basically replayed the entire Falcon Heavy launch with Starman, and we commentated during that. So
I actually got a chance to watch some of your videos. Your live streams had better audio than mine, so congratulations.
I don't know about that, but thank you.
You had far less audio issues than I had, which I was like, that's why I was like pretty impressed, because 16 years old, you're getting a fantastic little channel put together, very solid quality, informative content, which I think is pretty darn cool, man. So
thank you.
I'm sorry that the initial stream didn't work out, but I appreciate you sticking it out and working with me so we can figure out these audio issues, because if I didn't have you on, that means I would have continuous audio issues with every single person that we invited on the stream. So that is really, really cool. So I appreciate that. I'd like to have you back on more than just, obviously now, but I'd like to have you on. I can't believe that was the simplest fix, was just changing the output of the speakers. Just so
at least
so silly.
At least it's not something with a Skype or anything.
No, I was really nervous because one of the biggest attractions to doing live streams is it's an easy way to collaborate with other creators, or to obviously like Adam Bry. Like, what people don't realize is you were the reason why they came on the show. Like, you were the reason why. So if you didn't comment that, I don't think they would have saw that, and that would have never happened. Really, really feel bad now that I know that was my fault. But
he'll understand, I think.
Yeah, he seemed like a really super cool, laid back guy. I know that you had wanted to meet Adam, so I shot him an email in regards. So we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Okay. Wow.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if he's willing to do another stream, give me a second chance. Redemption round. I try to bring 3 people in. I know when you initially asked, you were like, hey, is there any way I can come in the stream? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I would love to, but I have a hard enough time with me, with one other person. And then it ended up going really badly anyways. But I think we can, with Skype, we can bring in multiple people. We can bring in multiple people. I've never actually tested it. I've never tested it, so I don't know if the quality is going to degrade, but we'll definitely try it. And do you have any footage from your Skydio?
Actually, so my father, we're building a house currently, and I just shot some footage of the job site.
Okay,
so
cool.
I guess I have that footage as well.
Yeah, well, when you get some footage of the Skydio, send it to me. We'll put it in. I'm going to be bringing back Friday Night Flights. So if you're not familiar with that, it's just sort of like a way for everybody to showcase flights. And one of the things that I've noticed is I haven't seen any Skydio footage, but the Skydios are actually still pretty rare. Not a lot of people.
Yeah, not a lot of people. And I know they stopped shipping recently due to COVID, except
they're trying to get shipping back on par, but you know, they're in California, so it's a little tougher. I don't think they've opened up the state yet. Now, what state are you in?
I'm in New York.
Okay, so you're in New York. So you guys were pretty locked down. So you're probably upstate, or are you by Long Island?
We're upstate New York.
Okay, so you're upstate New York.
Yeah,
so it's absolutely gorgeous up there. So as soon as you get some leaves on the trees, give me some footage. Let's get some of your footage out there. If you want, what I'll do is I'll also put a link to Vortex Labs YouTube channel. So if you guys are interested in Tesla or anything like sort of technology related, because you cover a lot of other things beyond drones. You just happen to fly a drone and being a fan of drones.
Yeah.
So
that's my number one hobby right now.
Flying a drone? It's an expensive hobby.
Yeah, it is.
Don't ever grow up, don't ever get married, because it's all over and then you can't enjoy any fun. And it's it's just a disaster. So just don't do it. It's a trap. Okay. That's all I can suggest. But
it's a trap.
Kaden, I appreciate you, man, hanging out. Let's do this. We're going to do this formally. Next time we're going to have you back on. And now that we know it's going to work, I'll have you on before we bring everybody, you know, like the main guest and everything on. Okay, brother? I think I lost him. Kaden? Yep. You dropped.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you again. You made me nervous. I was like,
you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I was like, oh man, it dropped out. That's Skype for you, though. You think in 2020 Skype would be able to figure out connections? Like, come on, it's 2020.
Still not yet.
No, it's still not good yet. But I was hoping Slack would open up their NDI service and get things going. But all right, man. Well, I'll let you jet. I know it's late, 10:32. You're out of school already, right? School's over for you guys, right?
Yeah, I'm out of school.
All right.
I don't have classes early tomorrow. I have physics the next day, so I'm pretty good so far.
So Lon is actually wondering if this is actually live. So, Kaden, say hi to Lon Denard.
Hey, Lon, what's up?
So there you go. So now Lon knows it's live.
Yep, this is live.
So
I actually did post one video recently on the Skydio 2. I tried to make a review of it. Yeah. So I do have footage from there.
How did it go?
It went pretty well. I just did a short test flight of the autonomy, and then I went over a few things.
Have you you haven't wrecked it or flew it like you're not flying near power lines or anything like that, right?
When I fly near power lines, I always take control of the beacon. I move it down. Except that there's an interesting story with that. So that's what I was going to continue on earlier. So we reserved the drone the day it came out. I believe it was October 1st.
Yep.
And we were batch one, except there were so many people who reserved it that day. It took so long for us to get it. It was in January. We got it, except it's not that bad considering other batches, except we got the drone. I have about 10 flights on it, and I was using the motion track feature.
Okay.
And I take walks, I'd say in the winter, to test it out for a while. And I was very careful of the autonomy, except the drone, it was following me, and all of a sudden it averted all the way left and collided right into a tree. And I was devastated.
Yeah, but it shouldn't do that. A tree is totally different. And if it did that on you, I'm sure they took care of you, right?
So what happened was, since there weren't leaves on the tree, it was a huge tree, except there were branches that were extremely tiny. Okay. Except the mass of the tree was so large, I didn't expect anything bad to happen. Except the drone swerved, and the drone is so fast when you change control sometimes, you don't have time to react. So it flew, and it crashed, and it was damaged. There was a small crack in it. It powered on everything, but there were navigational errors. But then I messaged Skydio, and this is near when COVID started, a little bit before. But eventually, they said it was deemed out of warranty due to there being small branches. I was a little bit confused, because if I took a picture of the tree as well and sent it to them, but it's their call, what the engineers said. Except I asked for them to evaluate for a repair, so I boxed it up, I shipped it back, and to see how much that would cost, to see if it would be cheaper than buying a refurbished unit.
Right.
And I attached a letter explaining all my past drone experiences because I'm insured by my school. I fly for my sports team, and I fly for several different use cases. But then I just asked them to reconsider their warranty evaluation, and like lo and behold, I got an email back, and they said they're making a one-time exception for me, and they did. They replaced my drone.
So,
and I could never be more happy.
I think like that's a lesson to anybody that's dealing with companies with warranties. The way you worded that, you asked them to reconsider. It wasn't, you weren't demanding, you were polite about it, but you were articulate. And I think that, you know, a lot of times when you're dealing with warranties, even DJI, when I deal with them, or even Altel, if you state your case, provide all the facts, and give them an airtight resolution like what you did, you're probably going to get the resolution that you need. You didn't put it on YouTube or anything. You weren't trying to slam them. You were really polite and discreet about it. And I think that's the reason why you saw the result. I hope that they get a chance to see this so they can know who they helped, because I think that that is so cool. And I've seen multiple situations where their warranty has really come through for people. I've seen people get like 3 or 4 units from them.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, just crazy things happen, and they continue to stand by their warranty. Obviously, there are those moments where they don't. I've had some close calls with it, never have wrecked it, but I've had some close calls. But I just hope you don't change that demeanor that you have right now, because the world can warp you. But that is so cool you were so polite. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if that was me, I probably wouldn't have been so polite about, you know, if they were like, no, because I'm like, wait a second, the circumference of the tree is should be applicable, but then they're accounting for those branches. So that's actually a good piece of information for a lot of people. I don't account for the branches on the tree. I'm only accounting for the actual trunk. It's crazy. So you got it back, I'm assuming, already.
Yeah, what was really interesting was, so this is it right here. This is a refurbished unit.
Okay.
They sent me for no additional cost. When I sent the drone back to them, they did ask that I remove the battery, kept the propellers on,
Sure.
and so I just sent them the drone with the propellers.
That's pretty standard.
When I got it back, yeah, and then when I got it back, I just got the drone with the propellers, and I already had my battery, which was a little scratched up, but it's fully functional. That's what matters. So I did get the drone, except when I was dealing with this whole issue, they've had their support active throughout the entire COVID-19 case.
Sure.
So I was messaging back and forth, and when they said they would make the exception, they sent one to me like immediately, and they didn't delay it until after COVID. So I'm kind of curious as how they were able to do that.
I think I know that some of their logistics were happening from somewhere else. Like their shipping centers. I don't know, you know, I don't know how big their office is per se. I've only seen a couple of videos. I mean, it doesn't look to be really huge. But you know, I don't know if they also had a limit of how many people or where they're storing these units. I would imagine they have a facility that is still active. A lot of these startup companies and smaller companies use a larger logistics company to actually ship their product. And in those warehouses and facilities, they ship other companies' product as well. It's just obviously a simple and you know, effective way to get product out to people quickly.
Yeah.
So Clement asks, wait, can someone explain to who Kaden is? Many thanks. All right. So for anybody who's just joining the stream, Kaden is with Vortex Labs. Kaden is the reason why Adam Bry was on the show last week, and we did the whole interview that sort of got botched. Obviously my fault now that we know. Kaden's also the person that helped me fix the audio very quickly. But he was supposed to be on the show today, and we had some issues. We had some issues with audio.
Big deal.
Not a big deal. You're a good sport. And I thought, you know, we weren't going to initially trip this video live. But after, you know, I thought I had the audio right. I apparently didn't. I'm glad we did flip it live, because as soon as we did, guess what? Greg dropped that little tidbit, and we were able to fix the audio, so life's good again. So pretty darn cool. Pretty happy. A lot of companies have minimal staff this whole time. Yeah, I agree, Lon.
That's true.
A lot of people do have some minimal staff. I know my company, we've been working, steadfast throughout this whole event. We are all just remote. So it's, everybody's still sort of creeping along. I know with California, it's going to be a little bit before they reopen, I think. And I think New York may be the same way. I don't know how upstate New York is, but I know that you guys got hit pretty hard.
Yeah, definitely. So, more so in the city, except I think it'll be a while till we reopen.
Yeah, which is sort of a bummer for a lot of businesses and people that are just looking to get back to normal. Kaden, why don't you do this? Drop the link to your Vortex Labs YouTube channel in the chat. So that way, if there's anybody that is interested in that type of content or want to check out some Tesla podcasts or some other technology, because what's one cool thing about people who are fans of drones is the fact that, they like a lot of other tech besides drones. So I know they'll probably appreciate that. So you're on Mac, Kaden. What type of Mac do you have?
I am running on a 27-inch 5K iMac. It's from late 2014.
Okay, it's still a beast though, man. Final Cut Pro can still get it done, man.
Yep, I actually got Final Cut Pro a year ago, and it's been great.
Nice, man. How you finding it to work? Pretty well. What'd you edit with before that?
I edited with iMovie.
Okay, that's what I started with. I started with iMovie, and then I think
it's great.
Yeah, exactly. And then I ended up upgrading to Final Cut Pro, and I don't know why. For the life of me, I thought, I'll go to PC, and I'm going to go to Premiere Pro, and it's a love-hate relationship. It really is. But I like Premiere Pro.
Is it the monthly subscription?
Yeah, it's the monthly subscription that sort of stinks. And then, of course, when Premiere crashes and you can't recover your files, But I think there's a lot of powerful utilities that I use all the time with Premiere Pro that I find really useful. And now that I've been using it so long, I can't really go back to Final Cut Pro. So it sort of sucks. But I mean, that happens from time to time.
I say, how are you still using Final Cut?
How am I still using Final Cut? I still have my MacBook Pro.
Okay.
So when I travel to edit the videos fast, I'll actually edit on the road using Final Cut Pro. I don't, nobody knows. The videos look the same. I made all the templates all the same, and that way it's really easy. So I try to stay versed in both Final Cut and Premiere Pro, because I think somewhere in my mind I thought, maybe Apple would release Final Cut for, I don't know.
I don't think so.
In a twisted world, right?
Maybe you could sideload Mac OS on your Windows PC, like you said earlier.
Yeah, I was thinking about installing Mac OS, so I definitely think I may install Mac OS eventually, but I'm pretty happy with for Premiere Pro right now. DaVinci Resolve is coming along too, but I just can't learn another editor. It takes so long. And I always try to learn when I'm trying to do all these different videos, and it's like, all right, I need to do this right now, but I got to relearn it here, so it always sucks.
Since this stream was called Drone Brews,
it was called.
I figured I'm under 21, but you have a beer, but I had a V8 energy drink.
Okay, well here, let's cheers. Let's cheers. We're gonna cheers. There it is. I was wondering. I was gonna. We were gonna get to that. I was gonna be like, "What are you drinking?" I was hoping it wasn't alcohol, because then I would be like, "What am I doing?"
Demonetized.
Demonetized. They'd probably send the cops to my house. Knowing my luck.
Shut down.
So how's that V8 though?
It's pretty good. Pineapple coconut, my favorite flavor.
Pineapple coconut. I've never had pineapple coconut V8. Every time I've ever had V8, there's usually been vodka involved. Not advised though. It's usually for like the early morning situations. Again, how's your mother okay with this? Because she's probably like, this guy is the worst influence ever. No, I promise I'm not that bad. Joking. But dude, again,
no, she's all right. She thought you were cool.
Well, hey, great. When I ever get up to the Adirondacks, I will have to come visit, man, for sure. Because I know.
Awesome.
Where was I at last? It was Buffalo. Buffalo last.
Buffalo. Okay, we're pretty east from there.
Okay,
so
yeah, Buffalo. And then I was over Rochester not too long ago. So that, I mean, it's nice, hard to get into.
4 hours away.
4 hours away, yeah. It's so weird because every time everybody thinks of New York, they always think of like Long Island and the city. Like
exactly.
Everybody,
you understand.
Everybody forgets. Well, I'm originally from Long Island, so like when people say, oh, "Where are you from?" I say Long Island. They're like, "Where's that?" And I'm like, "It's in New York." They're like, "Oh," but you don't say you're from New York. You say Long Island because that's different.
Yeah.
So
I work there a lot in the summer, so
it's pretty nice, man. It's just like Florida here, except for this is way hotter, way hotter, way hotter.
Like 20 degrees.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's so bad right now. Well, all right, man. I'm gonna let you go. It's 10:45, dude. I appreciate that. We got the audio situation fixed. So, guys, if you're watching this stream, you can thank Kaden for helping fix the audio, along with Greg from Oz by Drone, which he needs no introduction, as probably many know who he is. So, we'll go ahead and cut it here.
All right.
And I'm gonna go ahead and push this piece over.
Pass to and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to.
Dude, thanks for coming on, man. I